Hello, 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 hello again, everybody who is watching, who is coming on. Nice to see your faces again. If you're joining in, just make sure you do the necessary, the like, the share, and let everyone hear what we have for everyone today. Today I have on in the studio with me our reigning financial secretary and my friend from Tikwetikwe in the same red house where I've not seen her. This is the first time I'm seeing her live and direct. Boss,
Wow.
yeah, I've not heard her voice. Like this is the first time after 1992. So it's nice to see you
Wow.
all.
Thank you, Bumi. Thank you so much.
So
Good
we
to
are
see
live. Thank you. I'm hoping that more people will join us. As soon as we have more people, they will join us in. We will just we'll just start off. And for today, we have elections. We all know we had this election where there was so much vibe, there was so much uh, sharing and caring and sending things, bombarding people with campaign. Yeah, the prefect. So we're talking about the elections today, and then the prefects and the leadership in general at, in the boarding school, what it meant to us then when we were so young, and what it is now. So that takes me to the picture of the day. Who can remember this place?
Wow.
The admin block.
Yeah, it's well, I don't know if it's
I
still there, but I just caught that picture online. I thought, anything that reminds. I can remember we used to use the chapel,
the place
chapel
for
assembly hall, the
service.
social night.
Yes,
Yes,
that's
yes.
for the Protestants.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
I remember the Catholics. I think they were using. I can't remember, but I think it's a place, maybe the laboratory or something. I think that was where the
Yeah,
Catholics
one
were
of the
using.
yeah.
So it is the Protestants that were using this place.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
And then that's where we also have a social
Social
night.
night, yes, yes.
Eh,
Yeah.
I never went. Okay, there was a time that
So, like every Sunday morning, we'll have to bring in chair from the dining hall
yes,
Mm-hmm.
to put
exactly.
here. Then
Bring
after
back in
service,
the evening.
no, after
Yeah.
service I think in the morning we still leave it. Then we have evening service till the
Service.
same Sunday.
Exactly.
Then after evening service, we now return all the
Return it
chairs
to
back to
the
the
dining hall.
dining.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Oh, I can see Abatu is here trying to join in. Yeah, so that
Hello,
hello,
Abo
you
baby.
are welcome, Abatu.
can you hear me?
Hello, how
We can
about
hear you.
you?
Thank you.
We're just showing the picture of the day, saying, "Wow, we can remember the admin block, that gap, and all the green flowers."
Thank you. What's up?
Princess Flowers.
Abo, you guys went to back to the read.
Princess flowers, oh.
Is that not the admin block?
Yes, now.
Yes,
Is
it
that
is.
not the admin block?
Mm-hmm. It is. Do you what's any memories of this particular place? Have you got any memories?
Okay.
Abutu.
Okay.
Abutu,
The
have you got
memory
any memories of this particular picture?
the memory I have, can I say mine? I think
Hey,
Bumi is not
you
ready.
know what? Just give me 2 minutes. Let me get my earpiece.
Okay.
Give me
Okay.
2 minutes
Okay,
and let
go
me get my
on.
earpiece.
Okay then.
The memory I have, sometime was it not 1990? I had a surgery. So when I came back to school, I think I was having issues with the stitches. So I sent for my mom, and they came. And so when she came, she went to the vice president, I think Mrs. Ojumu's office and everything, and I was summoned. So I met my mom there. I could not hug my mom. I was just looking at her afar off. The fear of all those.
Uh,
Oh no, I don't know. I was just looking at her afar off, and when Miss Ojumu was now accusing me that why should I send that kind of message to my mom for them to come and see me after I had surgery, and I was seeing some pus around the stitches, and
Honestly,
the
the only voice I can hear is Bumi's voice. I can't hear any
You
other
sure?
person's voice.
And I can hear
yeah,
everyone clearly. What's
I
happening?
okay.
can't hear
Hello,
any
hello,
other
hello.
person.
I can
Just
Ah,
hear.
Maybe you should log
yours.
out.
you know
Yes.
what?
Maybe you log
Come
out
out and
and
come back
log
in.
in again.
Okay.
Yes, go out
Exactly.
and come back in. Voila. Oh yeah. So wow. So that was the
Hey,
experience you had.
Bumi, I'm back. Oh,
Okay, you're welcome.
I can't see your face, so it's dark where you are.
Yeah, I think it's dark where she is.
Okay.
I'm back. Oh,
Wow.
Welcome.
So you said you. So what happened a
now
lot?
money
So
matter.
no, Bossa
Jare.
was just relaying her experience.
You know,
I can't hear.
say
I can't hear able to.
business.
Yeah. So go ahead, Bosse. Yeah. So your experience of this place.
So that was it. It was, and eventually they allowed me maybe like 10 minutes just to chat with my parents, and the next minute they were gone. They came all the
Gone.
way from, I think, Akwa Ibom then. Yes,
What?
1990. I'm telling you.
Wow.
And
That
I,
was
I could
brutal.
not hug my mom, you know.
Imagine.
It was just, oh,
So
so
yeah.
that's the memory of this
You
place.
have admin
Very
officer.
terrible memory.
I think then some during GCSEs, my memory was during GCSE we had to see the bussa. I think that's
Mm,
where in that admin block you have the bussa,
mm.
you have I can't remember what was in there, but I remember you you had to fill we had to fill a form then of our names, and maybe my name
Principals.
was very long and they had to tell me to cut it, so that I was called into the office to find a way of cutting it short. That's up to today.
Ah,
Up to today, usually my name should have been Olubumi Olorun Kemi, but I had to cut that Olorun away and make it
Kemi.
was not enough
Wow.
to contain my name. Yeah, I remember that place. Anyway,
Wow.
okay,
Then I think the staff quarters was behind the
yeah,
admin block. There's a
staff
kind of
quarters.
No,
quadrangle.
No,
There's
Not
staff
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 quarters.
quarters,
quarters.
staff room.
there's a kind of
Mm.
Staff room.
quadrangle. Then after that, you have the staff quarters, the
Oh,
staff
Quarters.
room.
library.
Sorry, the staff room. Yes, there's
Staff
the
room.
library. Then there's the staff
There's
room.
a library where Mrs. Agbelu sits.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. That's in the main. That's in the that chapel or assembly hall. I don't know
Yes,
what you call it. So is it assembly
yes,
hall? I know we used to
Mm,
have
so-
all these Weibu thing
yes.
that we had that all reminds me of when we had this is it Miss Fegicola or something like that,
Exactly.
when
Yes, we had Miss Vegicola. Exactly.
when
Also in the hall.
was it Nick? I can't remember the name of the senior that won, and then I think the question they asked that was how do you spell Czechoslovakia or something like that. I remember.
none.
Czechoslovakia.
That was the first time I heard that name. I was like, oh, which one is that one again?
Did she spell it?
Yeah,
I'm
she
sure.
spelled it. I think maybe that
Yeah,
was why
she
she
did.
won.
Mm.
She was
Imagine
Miss Grace
as at
person
now.
in Red House.
Long, long.
Anyways, let's move on. Let's move on.
Okay.
For those joining us online, we can see two people are online watching. Thank you for coming. Just write your comments if you've got any questions, and let's do this together. So, the question here is, by the way, people have sent questions, and we are treating all the questions. So, the first one says leadership in a boarding house, the pros and cons of how prefects were chosen in Fegicola. So, yeah, let's kick the ball rolling. What are the pros and cons of how prefects were chosen in Fegicola?
Okay. How prefects were chosen? Those days, it was the school authority that picked prefects.
Yeah.
And I think there was a time, I don't know whether it is true or whether it just happened like that. I think usually they pick their prefects from science class. Or maybe I should say they pick the head girl the head girl always comes from the science class, and then other prefects, but they are the ones that use their discretion to pick prefects. Well, two things.
Yes.
Uh, yes, on the part that they want someone, or they want people who are very sound academically to be prefects, I think that might make sense. But I think they may have made the students part of the choosing process.
Yeah.
They just pick some people that, okay, these are the people that are sound academically, so you can now vote for who should be your head girl, who should be your whatever. So that, I know the reason why they want people who are sound academically is so that it will not further drop their performance. Then you don't have a head girl who is repeating the class, or a head girl who is not going on to the university or something. So that at least you know that even with that responsibility, which is a whole lot, they can still, perform academically, and they are still role models. They are people you can look up to. So that
Yes.
is fine. But they should just have maybe given us options, then told us to pick out of them for as prefects.
Yeah.
Then the
True.
idea of having only people in science class being head girl, I don't think that is good enough, because that means they are saying that it's only science
Mm.
students that can that have leadership, because that's just about
Independence.
leadership,
Mm.
nothing more. So
Yeah.
that means they're the only ones who have what it takes to be leaders, which is not so. Then you have people who probably would have gone to art class or commercial class, but probably because they want to become maybe head
Mm.
girl, they now have to go to the science class.
Yes.
So that
Yeah.
means they are limiting the potentials of the people they are choosing and all that. So I think that's pretty much what I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you. True.
you know, I with your statement now that you choose from science class, I realize that it is true. Though at
Mm,
first I didn't think of it that way, and it was more of the authorities. I don't think there was any
yes,
consideration of the
No.
at all.
students,
At
Yeah.
all.
and but
Yeah.
even in that science class, I don't think it was a matter of I think it was a matter of maybe if you are average, because I cannot say, well, I was a prefect, I was an assistant house, and I didn't see I didn't expect it because I was not definitely not the best, though I was in science
Mm,
class, but an average student. And
mm.
Bimbo, Bimbo,
Lotu. Bimbo Lotu.
Olotu.
Bimbo Olotu was not in science, was she?
No, I think the science was just for
The head
basically
girl.
the head girl.
Oh, okay,
Yes,
okay,
basically
okay,
the head girl.
okay.
Then
I now
all
get
other prefects can come from other. But the head girl usually is from the science class.
you. Okay,
They
I
usually
think.
okay,
don't pick head girl from any other arm of,
okay,
yes.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah. I think that was that was anyway. I think what I can say now is I don't know what they still do at the moment, but it's for those who are watching and for those who are feeling maybe they have an input to the school. The reason why we do this program is to see the gaps that were when we were there, and so that it doesn't continue even in our present age. We're able to plug in and we're able to give suggestions, looking at it from
Mm,
a student's point, well, a former student's point of view, and with our journey so far and what we know, there were some
Mm,
things that were not really done properly. So, like you said, student voice, adding student voice to the to choices would have actually helped, because there are some people, even some are very quiet, but they've got they're very sound and they could have done
mm,
good jobs with being prefects or leaders, and people may not know them because they're not close to the people. They're
To
not
the
privy to
authority.
the authorities. So it's only people who
And
maybe
the students may know
know
them better.
better.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, because now if someone is it a fagger now? Will I say if someone fags a lot and has never been reported, but if you do a
Mhm.
student poll that okay, choose the people you want to be prefects, and all, you begin to see some trends of this person they don't want
Mm,
that person to be there,
mm.
and you begin to wonder but the authorities think yes they should be. Why? And then they begin to dig deep, and before you know, some of the bullying and fagging that were really brutal in our days would have been exposed somehow. But
Yeah,
anyway,
exactly.
that's for the authorities. So thank you very much. It was really helpful to have that discussion because I didn't even think
Then,
about it. Yes, go ahead.
yes, then I want to believe that probably they consulted the chaplain in the Protestant section. Or maybe other like leaders in Catholic or and the Muslim section, because
Yeah.
this coming up now, I'm trying to understand why I was chosen. And I remember that I had like four posts. I'm telling you, it's making me think what is making me to wonder and maybe drill it to be particular, because I was actually holding four posts
The
in the
chapel.
Protestant church, the chapel. Yes, I was a Bible
Okay.
study. I was the chief usher. I was a prayer warrior, and I
And
can't
you
remember.
added one more thing.
I was
Only you.
Oloye. So I think, and it was after I was announced in the Protestant section. That was when the prefect sometime later was announced. So
Mm.
possible that
Yeah.
they because
Consult.
the school itself cannot know the student. They
Yes.
consulted some people that are
I want to believe. I don't know whether they could have consulted the chaplain or any of them, but I want to
okay.
believe that they would definitely consult the teachers. Of course,
Ooh.
teachers would know us, and of course,
Mm,
part of one of the teachers, the wife of our chaplain then was a teacher.
yes, Mr. Agbulishi.
So
Mm.
Yeah.
so of course, with the teachers, your class teacher, and because for the first 3 years of our lives, basically we had few class teachers. I think it was even
Mm,
our class that had multiple class teachers for whatever reasons. I know that we had Mr. Otsa, we had Mrs. Adewumi,
Mm.
and, but most classes from JS1 to 3, I think they had just one class teacher, basically. So they would have known the students very well. So I want to believe that it is their input that made a lot of difference.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure about, because if you talk about the chaplain may not know some of us.
mm. Okay, you
Like
are
I
right.
was an usher, and I was wondering why I became an usher. For me, I thought I was quiet. I thought I was
You
not
get it.
too ahead. But I also know that for that for the position in the chapel, because I think usually I love to ask questions. So I also discovered that the outgoing chapel prefects were
Mm.
consulted that they should
Okay.
bring names of people they think can hold forth after
Mm.
they
Mm,
are gone. So I know that in picking chapel prefects and all that,
mm.
the outgoing ones made an input.
All
Mm.
right.
Because
Okay.
personally, I know Reverend Agbelusi could not have known me, and I'm not close to
Mm.
Mrs. Agbelusi herself. So
Yes.
me becoming a chapel prefect would not have been possible if
Mm,
some of the students had not been consulted. So I'm sure
okay.
in picking the chapel prefects, they consulted the outgoing ones.
Yeah.
Mm.
So they gave names.
Oh, thank you, thank you. It's thrown more light. So, to the Feggicollans listening, there should be a student voice. That is how it's done in the world today. I don't know if they still do that in the current way of choosing prefects, but
I'm
I hope.
having issues with speaker again.
Okay, you can go out and come back in. So you can, you can always go out and come back in. Yeah, so I hope this has been taken on board. Let's see the next thing. Yay. These were our June celebrants. These were our June celebrants. We didn't do them last month. So for the June celebrants, we see
Olamide,
ID, Jumoke,
Olamide.
and Lamide. What do we remember about them?
ID, runner.
Rona, yes, so that's the first thing everyone
Eh,
who else? Rona?
Olamide, a student.
Yeah.
Jumoke,
Was that a
I
student?
really don't know her in school, so I don't know.
Oh, Olamide had a sister. I remember Olamide had a sister.
Olamide, a student.
Yeah. It's been a little while. Okay.
Quiet student.
Any
Jumoke, I
our
don't know. I don't know.
Fegicopedia is
But
not here at the moment. So come
what
and
do you know?
download the profile.
Okay,
Taiwo.
at least I know it already. Isang.
Abby.
I think ID was in our class from JS1 to 3. I think she was in JS1 to 3D. She was in Blue
Yes,
House.
D.
She was an athlete.
Yeah.
And
That was
she's still she's still very, very, how will I put it now? Very jovial. She's very, very jovial. I remember, I think it was our 25th anniversary that we held in Lagos. She was there and she was still doing all her throwaway and all that dancing and
Yes.
so I don't think she has changed much from what she used to be.
Yes. Then apart from ID, but apart from school, I knew ID at home because our
Okay.
fathers were both police officers.
Oh, okay.
My own father's boss. Our father was the commissioner of police at that time. My father was the deputy commissioner. So we call ourselves sisters.
Wow.
Oh, that's great. Someone says, I think back then we had a students' representative council made up of outgoing prefects, class captains who had a form of influence in the selection of prefects.
Wow.
Oh, really? I didn't know
never
that.
knew.
I never knew that.
Didn't know that. Okay, good to know. So
That means those people that were there were quite secretive.
Exactly.
Okay. We go on to the next question. So election 2022 was a wrap. Analysis and overview, electoral committee, process, posters, contestants, etc. What did you like and or did not like about the whole process? This is
Okay.
Hello, is anybody there?
yes, yeah.
No, don't you think it would be better I keep out of this?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's better I keep out of this.
Okay.
No, you cannot keep out of it.
Exactly.
No, let her.
No, you cannot. You cannot keep out of it
You
because you're
cannot
part
But
and
the only
parcel of
thing,
it.
the only thing I can safely say is that the electoral committee they actually did a wonderful job. In fact,
Beautiful.
I didn't expect that
Honestly.
the results will be out that soon because I think we finished the voting 11:59. And
59,
by
yeah.
the time I woke up, of course I had slept. By the time I woke up, I saw that the first post was around maybe 12 something.
Yeah.
And I was
But they
wondering
don't.
how.
No, but they
Within a few
mentioned
minutes, it wasn't up to an hour.
Yeah, because
And
they
the whole
used
thing was
them.
out.
but they mentioned it that they were going to release the results
Okay.
immediately.
Okay.
They used
So
technology to aid.
technology. So that was pretty impressive. And
Yes.
aside that, even throughout the whole process, I think first of all, a member of the nomination committee got in touch with me to ask questions about even what I submitted. One-on-one question. They wanted to get to know me one-on-one. They asked several questions. I had to defend what I had. So so if I had probably lied because it was impromptu, of course I wasn't expecting anybody was going to call me to ask questions. So they just called and they asked questions. Why was I running? What was I running for? And all that and all that. And that was pretty good because it felt like, okay, they really wanted to know the person they are putting forward. And then after the conversation, she said she was going to put across her report. So which means they are allowing me to run or not to run, depending on whatever report she gave them, whether I am qualified
Exactly.
or not. So it's not just about what I put on paper. It's had to do with the one-on-one interaction.
Yeah.
And then after the nomination committee, the electoral committee now took over from that point. So they also contacted, and then we even had a platform for all contestants. Then they asked whether we wanted to have that campaign program. So people who wanted the campaign program indicated that they wanted, and those who said, well, I guess because it wasn't everybody that was on that platform, so I guess some people didn't want to be on it. So, of course, they kept interacting with us. So it wasn't as if, okay, you want to contest, you put down your name and then you go to sleep. No, they kept interacting, and then usually they'll come on the platform and then they will say something like, talk to your to the people who are campaigning for you. They shouldn't be insults. They should that whatever they say is going to bounce back on you and that kind of a thing. So they kept putting us
in check.
They kept exactly so that we can put the people campaigning for us in check and all that. So I think it was a really wonderful job that they did. It was wonderful.
Oh, that's
then
good.
all this happened after COVID or during COVID. It's COVID that made
I'm talking about
I mean
this particular one that we just.
I'm talking about the online voting strategy because we have never
okay.
that. And it made everyone to be like there was inclusiveness of all the sets. More togetherness. Because before the ones they do before, in fact, I never knew that. You understand? So we only see them maybe when they go to occasions and they say that alumni. Well, I will not tell you but this the app they used because I did it once when I was also part of a committee in my Ibadan chapter when we wanted to vote, and they tried. It was really it was sophisticated, and I was really impressed with the way everything went. But what I want to sort of ask or say about it, is beautiful, is fine, is that it's still not I feel it's still not cutting across. That may not be their fault anyway, because at least they tried as much as possible to push it out. But for me to be seeing like 3 people contesting in a set, is not
okay.
But it's not their fault because they put.
I can say something about that.
Okay. Please.
I can say something about that.
Okay, go on.
What happened is what happened in that aspect is not something that could be controlled. You had to nominate somebody or nominate yourself. So I'm sure a lot of other people from other sets didn't want to nominate themselves. So that's why you had the same people from the same set. So it was 2 options. Either you nominate yourself. So people were giving room to send in as much nominations as possible. And that was why we had a lot of people from that set. Should be
Avotu, I can't hear you again. No.
We can't hear Avotu, we can't hear you any longer.
Okay,
you're talking, we can't hear you. Okay, so what Avotu said is there people were given the opportunity to either nominate themselves or be nominated. So of course, if someone nominates themselves and the electoral committee feel, we already have a 90, I don't think it's a first come first serve. It's just bring up nominations. So I think
so
their hands were tied.
What you are saying is that the committee ask for nominations from our president, the
No, not from the
From
president.
everyone, from the
They
sets, all
sent
the
they
sets.
sent
Go on,
they
go on.
sent a message, and in fact they Avotu put that message continuously, and she even apart from the message that they sent, Avotu kept posting that if you want to be if you want to
yes,
hold any position,
yes,
private chat
yes,
her and all that. So they
yes.
sent to every set. So I guess for us to have so many from one set is just because they
They were keen on
wanted
that.
to.
Yeah.
Exactly. So even from our set, we could have decided that we wanted to fill the whole
More than
position,
one.
and
Yes.
they would not have disqualified anyone.
Mm.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Hello,
Yes,
Abatu.
I can hear you now.
Okay. So, yeah, I think my network is a bit it's just fluctuating up and down. Okay, like I was
It
saying,
is well.
the issue of having the same people from the same set wasn't planned because
Mm.
we actually I'm sure most of you must have seen the post. They actually asked us to send
Mm,
in our nomination, and that
Yeah.
is you are given the option of either nominating yourself or nominating somebody from your set. And then for us now, Bola actually came back and said, okay, she still wanted to go for that post. And that was why we had Bola on ground. So I'm sure all those people who came from the same set actually had people fronting for them. And I'm not sure we had any other person coming in from other sets except the VP who was a much younger set. So it wasn't like they planned it or it was arranged or it was
Yeah.
tampered. It was what
mm.
people brought forward.
Mm. So it
Yeah.
was. Thank you very much. So it was based on nominations. There was
Yes,
no
I
Yes.
push
wasn't saying
apart from
standard
maybe people were
actually.
not
I was
serious.
just trying to, excuse me,
Yeah.
sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
wasn't saying it was tampered with. I was just trying to say that the only thing I noticed about it was that it was not all sets that
Yeah.
were
Represented.
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 Right.
Yes.
But that was the point I was driving at.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I guess that might be because some other people from other sets were not interested. Because even if I
Yes.
had not come out, our set too would not have been
Would have not.
represented.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
And
that's
it would
true.
not
Exactly.
have been because they didn't want our set to be there, but because maybe nobody is just coming up.
It's coming up.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So
Thank
so
Because
do
I
we think
remember
there
even
was?
before Bola came up, someone mentioned it in the group. I was like, but you have to come on. And I said, no, I can't be president here and go and put myself in next. I don't have that power. You understand? So I opted out. Uh-huh. You understand? Because there's a class web forum that has all the sets up until 2021.
Mm.
Do you get?
Okay.
So they send
Mm,
yes. So even Lola Johnson, who is an old ESCO, is still in the group. So even the old
wow.
ESCOs are still part of the class web group. So all the sets are represented. So it all
Okay.
depends on what the set decides to do. You understand? So maybe
Mm,
for us, this might be a stepping stone. Since Bola is there
Mm.
now, maybe the next nomination now we push
Yeah.
somebody forward. You understand? So,
exactly.
and I
Mm.
guess that was why a lot of us got to know about the election because
Mm.
Yes.
Exactly.
we had someone who was part of the party of this.
Yes,
And that's why we all
exactly.
knew. There's always
Ah,
been election. They've always
Mm.
had
I
elections, you understand? But
understand.
because we had someone from our set participating, that was why we all knew about it. And then we all even knew
Exactly.
about the general group and
And
all
we
of
were
that. Exactly.
very involved.
Mm.
Mm. Okay. Great.
Yes,
Wonderful.
exactly. Mm.
So yeah,
Next.
I think so.
Okay.
What's our take-home message for the electoral committee? That they did a good job. Well done to the. So well done.
Yes.
Kudos.
Kudos to them, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thumbs up to them.
Kudos.
Yeah, thumbs up to
Yeah.
them. They really did.
Yeah, they did an excellent
They
job.
did
I
a
was really
2022
Honestly.
compliant.
That was
Made it.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
proud of them.
So what did we not like? I know we've talked about what we liked. Anything apart from like
I didn't like the fact that, and I think I put it on the group. I didn't like the fact that they selected um some people and almost coined them as the winning team. Really, people should be allowed to vote for each individual
yeah.
rather than grouped
But
together.
that
So you
was not
almost felt
their
as if you had
work
to
of the
vote for everybody
electorate.
on the winning team rather than the individual
Mm.
candidates that you were supporting.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you very much, Ronke, for bringing that. It's true because there were some that were like, "Oh, it had to be this person and this person. This is our team, and so you have well, no, you have
But
to,
that
but
was not the
this is what we're
work
pushing
of the
for."
election.
No, I
The
think
electoral
they should have
committee.
come against that. They
It
should
was
have
the
come
members
against
that
it.
started that drive. Oh. It
Yeah, but they
wasn't.
should have put that as a rule. if they had put it as a rule, no merging up, no coming together or
I
anything like
know
that,
you can't say that.
why
You can't
not?
say
They can put
that.
it.
You see, election is about it's not a matter, is you do anything to win. You put strategies in place. There's really,
Exactly.
there's, as far as I'm concerned, there's it's not their
Mhm.
business. The only thing they don't want is that no bickering or abusive or whatever. Because
Yeah.
but you can choose your team. You can, it's possible in the choosing of the team gone. It's not all of them that actually got the ticket. If you
Exactly.
the VP was not chosen, but you know,
Mm.
people still voted individualism. But I believe that teaming actually has a long way in making something a success or a failure.
Yeah.
So I think
Mm.
Exactly.
it is not their own fault that I don't think there should be a rule that don't pair with anybody. Why not? If you
Mm.
can, if that's what you take you out to your next stage.
But
I
then
don't.
when we look at it
Yeah,
critically,
it's like having
it
a
seems that
APC and the president and VP paying up. So,
uh, well,
I don't
okay,
think,
honestly, I found that uncomfortable too when it was like people were being paired and like I know, yeah, like you said, people will want to do anything to win, but if they can control the bickering and insults and all of that, telling the people who are being elected that make sure this doesn't happen. Why should I think it's the people, from my understanding, I think it's the people themselves who chose, oh, I'm pairing up with this person, and you see posters. Or is it just anybody, all the
Anybody
voters doing that?
What I think happened with that pairing to begin with, just like I don't know which of you said it, that we had um, more people from a particular set
yes.
contesting. So I guess
Mm,
what happened is, of course, like if we had from our set, if we had a president, vice president, somebody contesting for president, somebody contesting for vice president, and all that, of course we
depending on.
could not throw any of them to the dogs. Of course,
mm,
we will have to carry every one of
Yes,
them along because they belong to our
along.
set. So I think that was what
exactly.
happened. If you look at those
Happened.
people that were pairing up, they all belong to the same set. Then
Mm,
maybe they now had maybe one or two or three people from other sets contesting for other what is it called,
Position.
positions to now come on that so-called winning team. And probably the reason why they brought those ones on board is because for campaigning purpose, that okay, you vote for people in my set and then we will vote for this person
I'll
from
get
your
my
set.
food from your set. Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
So it
So I
was a
think
That's
that
what
team.
was
happened.
what actually, yes, I think that was what actually brought about the pairing up and all that. Then when those
Yes.
paired up, some people who felt, okay, I
Even
might be stronger pairing up as well, also
mm,
now had their own team. So I don't think it had anything
it's
to do
not the
with
people contesting themselves that were because I was
exactly.
thinking it was the people contesting themselves were like, oh, this is our group, vote for us. I didn't know
No,
it
of
was
course, of
people
course,
who
of
were
course. If
instigating that.
of course, if we had more than one person
That's
from
my knowledge.
our
Yes.
set, of course, we would want to
Would
carry
have
all
done the
of
same
them
thing
along together.
everybody along,
Exactly,
along.
exactly.
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 So I
So
don't
Exactly.
think there's anything wrong with that. And in
That
fact, the first
no
time that I was
another
Because
that they wanted to hold the election, that I came out that very first time for financial secretary, there was also a grouping, and that had to do with, because of course I belong to the Abuja chapter. It was even the person who was coming out as president who called me and said, come, I want you to come out as financial secretary because I would want to work with you. So that was even the genesis of my even thinking about coming out for election. So if that had flown, we would have had all what is it called?
because in the
All
from Abuja.
positions from Abuja.
for
Do you
Mm.
different sets.
understand? And we would have all
Abuja.
paired together,
Oh,
although it would have been different sets, but all of us would have been Abuja based.
mm, okay.
Okay,
oh,
great. Thank you
wow.
for that
Excuse
explanation.
me.
Yes.
You said something that we didn't like, though people have tried to explain because I put it there on the platform. What was that third one that
What was
is
that?
they put in the
Sorry?
election ballot?
We'll get to that. Maybe we'll get to that.
Okay, I thought you were something that we didn't like.
Okay, well, let's
Yeah,
let's
okay.
hold that since it's part of the questions coming.
That's something that we did.
We'll show that. Okay, we'll show that.
Uh-huh.
So let
Oh.
me let's hold on to that. July
Ooh.
people.
Yay!
Wait. Is this June birthday? Is this June birthdays?
No,
You know,
July.
July.
They hold.
Now, Bola and Jumoke. So, yeah, Senator.
Yes, so
Yes.
Our able
But-
senator.
You know,
But you
Bola
were
is
quiet.
too
You
much.
were
You
quiet in
already know
now.
her. She was always quiet now.
I'm still
You're one of
actually I'm
us.
still very quiet.
One of us, the quiet ones.
Eh?
mm.
You're still very
I'm
quiet.
still quiet. I am.
Yes, we agree. We agree.
No,
It's kind
Bola,
I think
interestingly, let me
she
say
was-
this.
she
Oh,
was-
Bola, I
she
don't know
was
whether you
playful.
remember that we
Bola
used
was
to talk a
playful, oh.
lot when we were
Yes, she
when
talks
we
a lot.
were
with her
younger.
tiny voice.
We used to talk
Yes.
together. We were,
Definitely,
I can't
I
remember what
remember.
brought us together, but we were sharing
was a
some
talkative.
private things, talking together,
Mm.
being close at that
No,
You
she
know,
was very.
I remember.
She was
I remember
very.
you. I think you were one of those prefects in. I think was it JS1 block or JS2 block or something, right?
Rara, me,
Join
JS1.
GS3,
I came in JS2.
GS2.
That's the extension. The extension.
Extension, yes, it's the extension I'm talking about. You were one of those in extension now, Abby.
Yes. What's the you an extension?
Yes,
Me,
Butler was an extension
She was an
because I
extension,
remember that there was a time I had very terrible catarrh. In fact, it was really terrible. And I remember I came to your room and then you brought out anointing oil and you were like, okay, we can put it in any opening. So you put it in my ears and then you lay hands on me and then you prayed. I can never forget. Yes.
Pastor B.
Pastor Tipe.
Pastor B. Wow. Amazing. Wow.
I can't remember this at all.
Yeah, you cannot remember, but the receiver of the prayer, I remember.
Honestly, I remember because it worked like
Wow.
magic, honestly.
Oh,
So I can never forget.
that's great.
Wow.
Well, you had anointing oil, Sha. Maybe you remember that one. You had anointing oil.
I just know that I was very close to Bola at one point in time.
Yes.
That's great.
You guys were extension.
Jumoke Sheso,
guys-
she was Blue House.
Yellow House?
Yeah.
Happy Blue House.
Blue Neil.
Oh, Blue House.
Jumoke.
I can't even remember anything
I
about
I
it.
can't
she had
remember
low
how
cuts then.
much.
She had low
I don't
cuts.
remember how much. Yeah, I know she had low
I
cut, but
can't
that's all I
remember
can
her.
remember how much. I can't remember.
I thought she was one of the Akure. You know, there was this Akure girls.
Okay, those guys are staying in Akure. Oh, okay.
Just like
Okay.
there were OAU cliques too. You know,
Wow.
there were
Okay.
OAU people.
Yes, there were OAU click and there was Punch. I think there was Punch click
No,
too.
it was first time too.
Yes, first start too. Yes.
and the Lagos ones, the Lofat,
The Lagos one.
the Lofat.
The most powerful one.
Lofe is not the small something.
It's not a small something.
Number 3, what is expected from the incoming expos and how do we measure the performance of the elected officers ahead of re-election or future elections? What do we think? Oh, before we go, somebody, Oyeyemi says, irrespective of pairing, behind the scenes, negotiations, making a choice lies with individual voters, especially with closed ballot process. Okay. Thank you very much, Yemi, for that comment. All right. Yeah. So what do we expect of the incoming ESCOs? How do we measure their performance? Maybe we have to... how do we... Okay, Bola, you're put on the spot here.
Exactly. I was going to say that I think we have Bola has to be the one to answer that, because
Yes, sir.
how do we measure their performance? Seen, we haven't really had any close relationship with the past ESCOs for us to say,
Wait.
Yeah.
okay, this is what they need to do better.
Okay. How?
I
Of
think
course.
Bola should help us.
How do we measure performance? I'll start with that. Just like Bosse said earlier, that before now we had not been really aware of the ESCOs. Like even now, I really don't know who, apart from the outgoing president, Sister Mayowa, I don't know any other person in that cabinet apart from her. And if not because of probably a few things that she comes on to do once in a while, like if somebody has an issue and then she comes soliciting for assistance and all that,
Yeah. Yeah.
we really don't hear much about what is going on at the central. It was pretty much like they kept majorly to their sets. The all inclusiveness was not really felt, was not really felt across board. So I think for this one, I would want to say that for us to actually know, or for people to actually know that we are working this time around, the effect of whatever it is we're doing must be felt by every set, not just those who have people in on the seats. Every set, whether you have someone in the ESCO or you don't have anybody in the ESCO, every set must be able to feel the impact of whatever is being done. If there's something that is being done for the school, it should be obvious. If there's something that is being done for the alumni, then everybody must be involved. It's not as if some people will get the information, some people will not get the information and all that. If you're doing something, it must be done across board. The inclusiveness must be there. And then there must be a way to get people's opinion about performance. You know, maybe after a year, a kind of, what is it called? A way of, yes, of asking people, what do you think? What have we done well? What do we need to do better and all that?
But let me ask a question. Were you people given something like a blue book, or what is expected of this
Constitution.
like constitution, that okay, as a financial secretary, this is what is expected of you?
Your
Do you have
job, your
anything
job role.
Yes,
role?
that first time that they were supposed to have the election, we were given that, but this time there was nothing like that. But of course, I still had a memory of that time.
Okay.
So for financial secretary, one of the criteria was that the financial secretary has to be a chartered accountant. So which then I think the treasurer too has to be a chartered accountant. So which means if you are not chartered, then you cannot even vie for that.
No, I'm even talking
position.
about responsibility. What is expected of you?
Yes,
I think that
for the financial secretary. Yes, for the financial secretary, all sales of the assets, the alumni assets, is done by the financial secretary, and then the proceeds are handed over to the treasurer. That's part of the responsibility they said I would have to take. And then, of course, the preparation of the financial statements is also done by the financial secretary.
Okay, then I
they
feel
gave us that.
to measure you will be based on that, and
Yes.
what you told us on the manifesto day. I think it was recorded. So
yes,
all those things should be part of what will be used to measure the performance.
the performance.
So, was there anything
Call them
documented to measure the performance of the social secretary? That's the one that I was interested in.
Whose voice is that?
I don't
Who
get
is
it.
that? Who is that?
Let you talk. We're not here.
Who is that?
He said
I
social
said,
secretary.
what is the
Bestie,
measure of success?
Bestie, please put video. I want to see your face.
Abby,
It's not correct.
Put video
she's
now.
in the other room. I thought so.
I'm in the other room. That's why.
My bestie.
Yeah.
So, what is the measure?
I wanted
of
to say
success?
something. Okay.
Wait,
Answer my
Tabot,
question.
wait.
Now, why are you changing
Wait,
the
so
topic
she's
now?
saying something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we are.
So, what was the measure of success of the social secretary?
Well, maybe the number of parties she plans.
But she didn't plan any party. There was
Okay.
No,
nothing in
that
the
she will plan. We're
No,
just coming
There
in
no.
was
now.
nothing, no.
She
Okay,
has
but
always
she
been
did tell
what?
us
Yes,
now. She
even
did
before
tell
now.
us. She
No,
only
She
but what
has
told
I'm,
us
always
what
been
she
what?
wanted.
that was
She told
why
us
I
what.
wanted to come in. That's why I wanted to say something about when Paula mentioned inclusiveness. The inclusiveness boils down to the class rep. If your class rep doesn't carry you along, then there's no way your class will be represented. If you notice that every message I get from a class rep, I kept sending it to the group. Most class reps don't bother. They don't disseminate all those events that they have and all of that. And then another thing is, even when there are events, maybe like the monthly meetings or whatever, we hardly go. It's the 88 set. Those people who are the president and the vice president, they're the ones that go and attend. Eh? You understand? So of course you find more of them, being inclusive in all the activities and the events. Because you find out that the much younger sets don't attend. You understand? So, but like Bola has said, Bola, over to you guys. You guys have to really include everybody. And the first thing they need to
We
do
will
is
try our
So,
best.
have one group.
if the measure of
No,
success of the
the
social
first
Yeah,
thing
measure
the
of
secretary,
first thing they need
success.
to do is have one
Uh,
alumni group, because uh, yes, because I have friends I have some class reps who are in group one. That group is bubbly more than the second group, because you have majority
Oh,
of the
okay.
older sets and all
mhm.
of that in
So
that
put
side.
everyone
So we
together.
need to have one
I
group,
think there's a
put
Telegram
everybody
group.
together, let
Maybe a
everybody
telegram.
see everything,
There is a
like
Telegram group,
Telegram,
a
exactly,
Telegram group
Telegram group.
already. There is one. I even posted the reminder of this, and you know, that was part of what was discussed with Lerato
I'll
and
still
Yada.
send.
So
Yes,
I think
even
that
the
has
class
come up,
rep
but
group, a lot of people were like, please,
it
we need
needs to
one group.
be broadcasted.
Mm,
Yeah. So like Ronka was saying about
exactly.
measure of performance. I don't think we've answered her question. Well, we're not to answer her question anyway.
Nobody
We're
has
not the ones
answered
to
the
Social,
answer.
question. No.
She's not
social.
even
What do
smiling.
you think you used to measure it? That you ask the question, answer it yourself.
Yeah,
What do you
answer.
I
want?
can
Well,
say
answer.
I cannot answer it, but I can tell you what my expectation is.
Okay, what's your expectation?
Okay.
My expectation, as you said, is that there should be lots of inclusive parties with families, with children, and also
Exactly.
lots of activities, cross global activities that people can
Mm.
do. Also, there should be links in with some entertainers that can come and sing for us. We should get caterers that should come and cook for us. Barbecue, that's the one that me I'm interested in.
Yes, now.
Mumsy,
Okay,
Food
Barbecue.
must be
okay,
there.
okay. Ah, I'm on jet.
I
I think
like
I'm on jet still in your body.
and then
No,
like
Uh-huh.
I'm sure she intentionally pushed that
And
to
it's
the
not,
end so that we won't laugh. I'm
and
sure that would have come
it's
up
not
front.
showing on your body.
okay. So
Eh?
if my
With all the
answer is
food that
no,
you
if my
like,
answer
it's
is
not even
no
showing in
comment,
your
what
body.
is the job of a social secretary? Because to me, it's to bring people together and have fun now.
Yes, that's true.
But they do it now. They do it. It's
I'm
just
not
that most of
saying
us
they.
don't
I'm
But
saying the
attend.
yeah,
person
that's
that has
it.
been
They do
selected.
it
Oh,
If they don't have
only
the
to those
flair
who
for
know.
it, how would they do it?
no, but
It
they
doesn't
invite,
come
no,
naturally to
now.
everybody.
No. See, no, the Christmas before COVID, there was a Christmas party where they invited everybody. It was posted on the group. But how many of us turned up?
I don't even
Let's
hear.
be right.
Nana, I dey hear
Uh,
from your mouth.
that is, thank you. That is why I'm now saying that the honors
There is
falls on the
Christmas
class
party.
rep.
You are not
Because,
getting. There is
no, wait.
Christmas party and there is
Because,
Christmas party.
no, what they do, they inform the class reps, and the class reps are supposed to inform their set. So when your class rep does not have time, the
What was
class
the
rep will not
agenda?
post.
What was the order of program for the Christmas party?
Hey,
Oh,
there,
if
you
you do
know,
Christmas
old
party
age
now, you
now,
say if you do Christmas party now,
old age.
wait,
Don't care, old age has come. But let me,
But
I
let me
know,
let
if
I
you do
Abotu.
Christmas
wait
party now, you
now,
say
power
this time
ballet.
there is
Abotu, let
sport,
me
But
let
and
me
you
let
say
me ask this question. Please, I
okay,
want to
ask.
know. Is there
Uh,
are you doing Fegicola and non-manai regionally?
What do you mean regionally?
Like
Oh, I
Lagos.
thought.
You know, like we
Now,
have in
yes,
our
yes.
sex.
There's Lagos.
Huh?
There's
There's
Lagos
Ibadan.
chapter.
There's
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 no
Lagos
Ibadan
UK.
sex.
chapter.
So not in UK. We need to tell them to
The
start
Lagos
using.
chapter is the one that they use Lawal Hassan's event for.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
that's the
Like
Lagos
now, what
chapter.
Ronke is saying now about this inclusiveness, if they want to do a Christmas party, they should not
They do it.
concentrate it on in Lagos alone.
Lagos.
Abuja
No,
máa ṣe tiẹ̀, Ìbàdàn
Bola,
máa ṣe tiẹ̀,
Abuja hasn't done
Àkúrẹ́
their
máa
own.
ṣe tiẹ̀.
We
But I
in
think
Abuja we usually do parties and all that here in Abuja.
exactly.
Okay.
So
We
I
have
think
our
what
own
happens
parties
now
and
is
all that.
it depends. It all boils down to the region to do what they want to do.
But we
But it's
don't
just
have
that
any.
Lagos is always bubbling because we have more people in Lagos State.
In Lagos.
Yes.
It depends on your definition of bubbling. If you ask people to come and collect pop,
But even you people in the abroad, you people should
We
have
don't
your own
get.
regional
We
meeting
don't
in
get.
abroad.
I
Then you
don't
start
know.
it up.
I don't know.
Okay.
I was talking to this person that was supposed to be the vice president. She said she has been doing something for the UK, but I said this is my
Exactly,
first time
because she's in
of
UK.
That's true. As we did the election,
Uh-huh.
they should have regional presidents. Actually, they should have asked us to vote for
Yeah.
UK president.
Yeah.
They should have done that.
That's part of inclusion. Thank you, Jerry. You see,
They
brains.
should have done that.
So
Many-
please
many
put it up that
Yeah.
apart
Okay,
from the central president, we should have regional president. That's how we can really drill
Or
down.
maybe
to everybody.
regional chairman or chairperson
Koma
so
the
that
president,
we don't call it
the regional
president
leader.
exactly.
Regional leaders.
Exactly.
There should be
Okay.
regional leaders that should be voted for.
That's true.
Okay, thank you. So let's look at the
Yeah.
next. I'm kind of echoing, and I don't like it. Who is? Why am I echoing? Is anybody on speaker?
No, let me.
Okay, all right. Okay, yeah, it's fine now. Thank you. Thank you for that. So we have Yinka Lawaya and Funke Ajaja. Let's do something.
But Funke didn't change.
In fact, I remember the very first time I joined the Fegicola group 92 sets. I think it was her birthday then. It was her own picture. I said, I know this person. So this, where's your glasses? I used to remember how we glasses then.
Oh, my what glasses?
Queens. Yeah, she used to
Is
squint.
it Funke or Yinka?
Funke.
No, she wasn't wearing
Funke
glasses.
Ajaja. Go and ask her.
Okay.
She was
Is
glasses.
that was wearing glasses? Yes,
She
I
was
just
squint.
wearing glasses.
Yes.
Thank God for contact.
Is Rayo Afonja?
I can't even really remember any of them.
Rayo was wearing conch glasses. But Funke
Rayo
was
too.
not a glasses person. I can't remember her with glasses.
Funke was in fact, I remember that day I asked, I said, is this not Funke? That where's your glasses? She now said, I think maybe I don't know, maybe she said she uses contact lenses or something now. But I'm sure that one I remember. And Yinka had a sister. I can't remember what I know she had a sister.
I don't remember her having a sister.
Yeah, Nakura.
In Akure?
Yeah, ask her. That one I remember. No,
I don't remember her having a sister. She was in Yellow House, Toast.
Yeah, she was in Yellow House. Her sister was either in blue or purple.
Really?
Oh yeah, make we ask her for blue. Ask her for blue. Yeah, except I'm mixing it up, but that one I think I remember. Okay, so what do we remember about Yinka Yellow's girls? Where is
her height?
No day.
That her height that she used
I
to
said she was
Her voice.
Anytime I see her and Biola Legoke with their height, I feel like a boy. But I thank God like this, I was taller than I won't care, so I was safe.
She wasn't tall like Biola. She was
Intense kind of tall. Yeah.
She was
The two tallest people in our school were Nini and Gbemi.
Nini and
Gbemi Maxwell.
Gbemi Maxwell and Nini.
Yeah.
No, not Gbemi Maxwell. Gbemi Babalola.
Gbemi Babalola, yes. Yes, yes.
yes.
But she
Oh, she was
was
the one
not. She's
that
not.
Princey. She was the one that Princey insulted one time in the field. She was like, "You come here. What are you doing for?"
It was just before Waibu.
Was it? Hmm.
Yeah, she now asked
Yeah.
her to go and join basketball team.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
Is she? That was a good
I don't
encouragement.
think she joined. I think she went and then it did not happen.
Wow. Did we even have basketball at all? I can't remember basketball.
That
We
was-
had every for
No,
one
we
year.
had.
We had though. We had this fat woman that was always saying,
No, that was for handball.
that was handball.
Handball.
That's the one I remember.
It was handball.
That was handball.
Bàbá
That was
ló mọ̀
handball.
pẹ̀lú gbogbo agbára tọ́lọ́run fún ẹ. Tó bá ya ara mi.
That was handball.
That was in GS1, GS2. She called them tiny
In
tots.
fact,
So
I think I did with the ball. Stop bathing with the ball.
No, I ran away from that woman. Then remember there was one man, there was one man too, one guru Maharaj man that if you want to give him water, you have to give him water in a white skirt, the red cover.
So.
I can't remember what
I don't know that one.
No, I remember. Don't say
I don't know that one.
I remember. I think he was teaching us calisthenics or so. I can't remember.
I can't remember. I can't remember that.
I remember now.
Okay,
let's move. Let's move.
She did not wear glasses. So I've just gone to check her picture. She didn't wear glasses.
Really? But she was always thinking,
She didn't wear glasses. Though.
Really? Okay. I don't know if that one. Maybe I didn't get that right.
Unless it was lost the day she took this picture, Sha.
Maybe I mixed.
Okay.
Okay, let's see the next one. Will there be a standard criteria for elected candidates? I don't think we've answered this actually, to be honest.
I think
You said?
I think we've answered this about
we've answered
people being in the same state and all that.
There should be a standard criteria, but I think
There should be, especially there are some how will I put it now, sensitive positions that of course there has to be that has to be handled by professionals. For example, you cannot talk about a legal advisor not being a lawyer. Do you understand? So for those sensitive positions, of course, there has to be a criteria for anybody who wants to go for those positions. But for other positions like president, vice president, I guess the only criteria is being an alumni of FeggicollaGirls'Arise. You are qualified.
And then I remember the last meeting they had. They were saying I think it's still part of the questions we have at the bottom. We'll go there.
Yes.
We'll go there. Okay, let's see. What's the next one? Welcome, Buki. You're welcome here. Nice to see ya. Okay, hey, our
encyclopedia.
Honestly, I said, Taiwo, this your memories, your cross, because it will make you remember things that
In fact, everything. Our very own encyclopedia.
So all the minor details. Wow, she's
in fact, to the minutest, she'll remember.
Minute details, you're right.
Honestly.
She's blessed. And
she is.
Dayo.
But Tayo was an Ijobo in school. Hey.
I didn't see that.
Troublemaker.
I didn't see her being an Ijobo person, no.
She wasn't Ijobo.
Yeah.
She just
she was quiet. Well, maybe not quiet.
Who was quiet?
She wasn't noisy. But she was the kind of person that she didn't let you take advantage of.
Taiwo was a noisemaker. Yeah. Oh, she was in the same class. Taiwo was Babanla number one noisemaker.
I was in the same class with her in SS class. She was not a noisemaker.
I
And
don't think I think
Sure.
she
see,
was just yeah, like
I was with Taiwan from JS1 to
I was never in the same
JS3.
class nor
Hey.
the same hostel with her. So
No, I was in the same
So
class. I was in the same class. SS2,
Well,
SS3 were in the same class. All of them.
Maybe by
Taiwo
that time,
was
maybe by
my
then
close
she had
friend. Taiwo
matured.
was
But from
this one
JS1 to
that
JS3,
Taiwo
we used to, me and Taiwo
let
used to
me
look for
talk.
trouble together. We used to look for trouble
eh,
together.
Let me
Yeah,
confession.
during
This was
during
serious
class prep,
confession.
during
I
class
have
prep when
something
people
to
are
say.
reading, I could actually bark like a dog. She should be like, yeah, come, let's go. We now go to the back of one class,
Excuse me, I want
and I will just bark like a dog.
excuse
Woo! The person that is sitting down there will take off, and they will run
can
away.
you
So eventually, they cut.
okay,
can
boss, I
you
want
see
to
me? I
say
want to
something.
talk.
Yes,
Mhm.
go ahead.
Okay,
Okay.
talk.
You see, I want to agree with Ronke here because in fact I never knew Taiwo as this vocal shape vocal vocal,
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 vocal.
yeah, vocal.
because
Okay,
I
vocal.
had three friends in school at that time. Three in year before. The, the friends I had that were very close to me, Taiwo was among them. Buki Dejo and Marilyn Olorunda.
Ah, okay.
Hey, where is
You
she? Where is she? Where is she?
we have not heard of that girl. I'm still looking for her. And Taiwo was this troublesome and this outspoken at that time. She
She
was
wasn't.
though she was smallish in stature, but she wasn't
Mm.
except she has different
Red girls
You know
there.
when you are, you
The
know when you are in
technique
class.
Tokumbo
So
Jikutu.
that,
That senior always say
Yes.
Tokumbo
Tokumbo punish.
before she left before she
Uh,
left
yeah.
Tokumbo too was very outspoken, but
Ah,
Taiwo
she
was not
was.
Mm-hmm.
this outspoken.
No,
Tokumbo was
not to the
outspoken. There
level.
was a lady also, Larin Shoyombo. Larin Shoyombo too was
Ah,
yeah.
outspoken.
Larry Shambo. Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah,
you
boss
understand. But
Blankets
Taiwo was a bit timid. Taiwo, I don't know at what point
Hey. Okay.
he
huh?
became.
Maybe she was a silent pistol. Let's say
I'm
she
not
was a
talking
silent
again.
pistol with
I'm not
you
talking.
know, she was those were my friends. In fact, I used to when she started talking about Miss Ogemudia and everything, I was wondering that time was yourself and myself were very close. You didn't tell me this that you had issues with Miss
My
Ogemudia, you understand? So
microscopic memory.
Oh yeah,
uh
Dayo, uncle. I know
Dayo.
Ronke will
Our
agree with
Dayo.
me.
Pakiri
Dayo.
Merchant.
Paji,
Dayo's won't get party.
my
I
Mm.
really
Paji. So
I think
she
back
was
in school Dio
quiet.
was quiet.
She was always
Mm.
quiet,
Dayo was
always
quiet in school.
always up
Yeah.
for a laugh. So anytime I'm
Very
getting
neat.
in trouble like this, if you call Dio, she will always follow you to trouble. No how.
Oh,
She's always, but she will be
Oh,
so quiet.
yeah.
Very, very quiet.
oh. But that
And she's
Dayo
still
can talk
quiet
more.
anyway.
Everyone.
Not really. Even till now, she's still kind of quiet, to be
She's still
fair.
quiet. Dayo is still quiet.
she's reserved.
Bless. Okay. All right.
I
So next
like her voice.
question. Should a candidate not finishing her studies in Feggicola with her STED be a
A
disqualifying factor to
disqualifying.
disqualifying
I
factor
agree.
to
I
participate?
agree.
Please, can
I
I?
don't
Why do
think.
you
I
keep
don't
muting my
think.
mic? Shall I
Let me
make it
stop
Soloni?
saying
What's
No,
our
no,
I
no.
don't
problem?
It
think.
was
no.
echoing
Let
in
me
me.
say
Ah, okay.
Sorry,
aside.
my
Maybe
echo,
because
my
we are
echo,
close
Mawa.
by.
Sorry,
Maybe
mommy.
No,
because we
let
are
me
close
say my
by.
own. Let me say
Okay,
my own. You
okay.
see,
Okay.
I believe that
I-
if you didn't finish, please listen to me because I've thought of this answer before coming to
Mm.
say it, and that's why I want to say. If you didn't finish from that school,
Hmm.
doesn't qualify you as an alumni of that school. If you pass through the school, you can still be a part in that you have your friends that grew up together with you, but for you not to finish, because when you are writing your kinaman
Yeah,
set of
educational history
uh,
and all
educational history, if you didn't, will you say that you finished from Queen's College and you also finished from Fegicola? No, you will have to take one. So I believe if you didn't finish from the fine, you can be part of, because your friends of hold, look at how we are still close to Tokumbo Ujiku to till now. You understand? Your friends of
Even
hold.
Jumoke Gbadamosi.
However, it's not going to be easy to contest, because you won't have, to be candid, you won't have the inclusion of all members. They don't know you. How do you want to come and fight for them? So I
I'm not
believe
sure.
be a qualifying factor if you didn't finish. Fine, you may not start. You may not start from, like now. I can't go and claim that I want to do a president in Federal Government College Port Harcourt. Who do I know there again? You understand? And I didn't start from Akure. However, I can still latch on. Okay, I finished from Akure. My friends were there. Fine, I have some few friends also in Port Harcourt, but I can't go and jump into the numbers now and say I want to become anything because I didn't finish from there. You don't know the things they might have
I
gone
don't
through.
These are bad.
we are done
Oh,
for.
in Bobo,
We don't download
There
you
she
before you.
is. It's even good. It's even good that we had finished with her before she came on board.
Exactly. What are rewards?
What have I done?
What are rewards?
Rewind.
so that's what I stand to be. Well,
I'm not sure I agree.
Can
I'm not sure I
I
agree.
say something,
I
please?
think you
Wait,
can
yeah.
1 minute. Okay, Ronke
contribute
is saying something.
effectively.
After Ronke, Buki will
Okay,
talk.
I can't hear.
You can, oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
I think you can contribute effectively no matter how many years you spent in that school. So I think somebody not finishing or somebody not starting is exactly the same. And not forgetting that also you have that halfway mark called GS3. So somebody who graduated and which is that GS3 is equally the same. And secondary school is not really about the piece of paper you take away from the school. It's actually the experience, what you give and what you take out of it, rather than the actual SSC paper you take out. So for me, as long as you can contribute effectively, you have a love for the school, you still have fun memories, you still have friends, why not? I mean, I was telling somebody recently that I spent 2 semesters in Osua and they were the most memorable of my life, and I'm 40 something now. So if they're doing something in Osua now, can I say I can't go and do? I would like to do that because it's a time of my life, no matter how short, that was so important. So I feel even if you spent a term, if you can confidently and effectively contribute towards the school, then why not? I don't think you have to graduate before you can contest for a position.
Okay. That's another way to look at it.
So I'm leaning towards Ronke here. Whilst I hear Boss in the like, if you have multiple schools, you're going to have to pick one.
Is
But when
Buki
we're
talking now? I
talking
can't
about,
hear anything.
Yes, Buki is talking. If you can't hear,
can you hear me
come
now?
back in.
Yes, we can.
We can hear you.
Can you
When
hear
you
me now?
talking, mute your mic.
Yes, please.
If you mute your mic, you hear better.
Yes.
If I mute my mic.
No, for those who are not talking, can mute their mics.
Can you hear me now? Okay. So I said that I'm leaning towards Ronke here. Whilst I understand Boss's explanation about if you had passed through multiple schools, when you're going to write about where you graduated, maybe your biography, you would have to pick one. But sometimes people would say, oh, they started from so school and they had this many years, even though they graduated from this school. So while that is an explanation, I don't think you should debar a candidate, especially if that particular candidate has spent a reasonable number of years in the old school and he just didn't finish. As long as she can contribute, she can, she pays her dues. She's a positive driver in the community. I don't see any reason why, because the person did not finish from the school, cannot go for an elective position. Now, talking about people will not know you, then that's the person's risk to mitigate. If the person feels, I want to go for this position, people may not really know me, then it's her role to go and, get visible to the people that would vote, or already knows I'm disadvantaged in this area. But the Constitution cannot and should not prevent such a person from vying for a position. That is my opinion.
To add to that as well, I would like to say that for you cannot it cannot be when there is an election that you will now say that this person did not finish from this school, so cannot vie for a particular position. How about when the person has been paying dues to that particular alumni, when the person has been doing some other things, you've recognized the person in some other areas. But when it now comes to vying for position, you now say this person did not finish from this school, so is not qualified. If the person is not qualified to be a member of that alumni, you let the person know ab initio. But if that person has been in that alumni and has been contributing towards that alumni, it cannot now be when there's when the time has come to vie for a position, you now say this person is not qualified because she did not finish. If she did not finish, then don't collect her money in the first place. If she did not finish, then don't collect ideas from her in the first place. That is my position.
Let me ask: is it in the Constitution that people who don't finish from Akure can't contest in the election? I don't know if that exists.
I will have to check that Constitution again because I've not checked it recently. But I know that before it was not there. But I think the Constitution has been worked on, so I would want to check to see whether that is
my understanding is that it was worked on or adjusted just to disqualify that particular person. It was not there before.
Yeah. But I don't think it was there before.
The Faga is the outgoing president's friend. They now they rewarded the Constitution to disqualify her.
Well, let's excuse me.
That is wrong.
That is complete witch hunting.
The story may not be complete. While I don't know the story, but the one you said is actually what I heard also. But it may not be a complete story. You understand? Because we're not there. We don't know what happened.
True that.
I know that the Constitution was amended. Just, it wouldn't have been an issue if anybody had thought about it initially, ab initio. But as a result of probably the things that happened, that was how people were swayed to believe that it was because of that particular event that caused the Constitution to be amended. But if you say that the person that was a chairman of I'm talking from what Bola shared now, because I don't know what happened. I wasn't in the alumni or the national alumni. If you said that she was the chairman of the Constitution, how would she have used that so-called clause to now shoot herself in the leg, so to say?
No, that Constitution, the actual Constitution that
worked on it.
Of course, she was not the only one. If you see, there was a particular picture of the members of the Constitution Committee that was being posted during the campaign that the one person that was vying for legal advisor she kept posting it and then she kept pointing out herself. That lady was on that poster. The initial Constitution, she was part of it, but I'm not sure whether she was part of, because it was after the whole thing that they now wanted to, conduct that election. And then, that fracas, there was that fracas and all that. And then probably after that, she may not now have been on the amendment team. Do you understand? Because after the whole thing, in fact, even in the Abuja chapter, she has gone so quiet. I don't even know whether she's still there, whether because of all that she may have just decided to leave the FeggicollaGirls'Arise platform altogether. I honestly don't know. But after the whole thing, she has gone so quiet. So probably at the time of the amendment, she probably was no longer active.
Okay.
Is the Faga still there? Is the Faga still an alumni?
Of course, the Faga would be an alumni because she probably finished
the
Then
Faga
you
is
Soccer-Cola.
need to
student
bring
now.
the case to light.
Asifaga,
You,
no?
this new ESCO, you need to bring the case to light. It has to be resolved because
Oh
that's
my
not
God.
justice.
Oh,
That's
I
pure
will mark
injustice.
on you. Faga,
That's
about
pure vigilante.
Àti Faga àti Fagi, ó yẹ kẹ́ pé gbogbo wọn.
It's a Faga.
I'm not joking,
I
no.
thought I was
They need to,
hearing
that's
something
injustice.
else.
I think we have the next question now about fagging. That's not the fifth question.
Okay.
Oh, Fagi.
Okay, before fagging, let's see. Omolola and Benga, what do you remember?
Binga.
Yes, I remember Omolola. I think I remember Benga
Ẹ dúró ẹ
too.
sọ pé July celebrant ẹ wá lo Lọlá àti Gbénga nìkan wá tó kù nǹkan.
It was
What
Wọ́n
is
ti ṣe ti ẹ kọjá.
Want to celebrate your Olawa Bikogo?
We have celebrated your issue.
an
You
hour
have
ago?
celebrated
You
your
have
issue.
been celebrated.
in twos.
The one thing I remember about Lola is that she was very small in JS1. By the time we got to SS2,
Yeah.
she just dropped in height.
She
I
was
don't know
like
why.
this lenga girl.
What I remember about her is her
I know
low
she was
cut
in Purple House.
and her
Exactly, she had a
catwalking.
low cut.
She was in Red
And
House.
She was,
catwalking. Oh man,
She was in Red
Red
House.
House or Purple House. Really?
Red House,
I think
yeah.
I always
Red
thought she
House.
was in my house.
No, Lola was
But I
red.
think she was in
That
GS1
Maybe
to
is
you were the
3D.
same
all of a
class.
sudden she just
Ronke, she was in GS1 to 3D, right?
No, she was
yes.
in B
she
class.
wasn't. She
B.
wasn't.
So how come I
class.
believe I really I connected? Well, I don't know.
Remember
But I'm
her?
sure I know her very well.
Mm.
Yeah.
Lola.
Lola, too.
And she was an art student now. Art ló ṣe ní SS.
But I was in
Yes.
science class near SS.
No, ìgbà tá a máa fi wọ SS kìíní ó ti wà ní G ló wà.
Okay.
We are
That
together.
means we were
I think
never
she
in the
said she
same class, we were
initially
never in
started
the
with
same
science
house.
now, Abi.
No,
She was
because
in
Maybe
science,
she
so
was.
Lola was never in science. Lola was
Eh,
She was
art.
not in science. She wasn't in science.
Sorry, you.
It's now that she found her way into science.
Yes.
Oh,
Exactly,
yes. I
exactly.
remember she said
Yes.
something like that though, at
Yeah,
some
she's a
point.
nurse now.
Yes, now she's a nurse.
She's a
she's
nurse,
a
yeah.
nurse.
I think that was where I was mixing it up.
Benga Popular. I didn't know much.
Yes,
about
Benga
Benga.
Gbenga
Bakare.
Bakare, Tanya Omo Gbenga. Gbenga she was
She
supposed to
was
be
in
91
first class,
set.
Abi.
It was
Yes.
91 set.
Yes.
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 Then
That's
she
why a lot of
she
people know her.
Emma,
I
but
didn't know her
bẹ̀rẹ̀ wèrè
too.
pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ physics and chemistry yẹn. She was one of the
Was
people
it physics
that
and chemistry or
No, it
maths
was
and
math and
English?
English.
It was maths and English.
math and English òṣìwò. Physics and
Yes.
chemistry ṣebí nǹkan tó sàwá di ṣebí sáyẹ́ǹsì lèmi náà wà mú wà lára àwọn tó affect náà.
It was
No,
math
that
and
was a
English.
different
It was
time.
maths and English.
That was
If you
a
don't
Ó ga
pass
fún
maths
iye
and
which
English,
math
you won't
and
get
English. Physics and chemistry ní
promoted.
pé ranjú mọ́.
Rara.
No,
So,
different times. No, there were two
that
different
was
times. There was the first
Math
time
and
was maths and English. The
the
second
first
time
one
was
for maths and
Hausa
English. If
students.
you cannot
And the
grad,
third time
you
it
cannot
was
go into
physics.
SS if you don't
Yeah,
pass
oh yeah,
both maths and
there were
English.
different times.
But àwọn Gbenga, it was not SS that it affected them. SS2 ló affect wọn. It was SS1 going to SS2.
Yes, it
Now,
was maths and
okay.
English. It wasn't physics. It was maths and English.
No, there's nothing about physics and physics.
It wasn't physics. It was maths and English.
Mi ò tiẹ̀ rántí gbogbo wọn yẹn.
Maths and English.
I said a lot of people. The first time it was maths and English. The second time it was Hausa students. The third time she now focused
Yes.
on anybody that did not do 8 subjects that was doing Hausa should take their desk back to SS2.
Wow.
Please, I
Exactly.
want to-
Yes, I remember the Hausa thing.
During Hausa Day.
If you were
Adi-
doing Hausa and you were doing 8 subjects, you had to take your desk back to SS2. After we had
It was
done a whole
set
term in
now.
SS3.
That our Hausa teacher was a copper.
Yes, the
Yeah.
Hausa teacher was a copper. He came into the Hausa. She came into the Hausa class. She greeted all of us.
She
Saluted
called,
us.
he knew.
We now replied, Megida. She now
She
got
called,
upset. She was like,
he
how can you
knew.
Hausa students not understand Hausa? So she
They said
therefore said,
Nahil.
any Hausa student, you are going to fail it by anyway.
Ronke,
So she said, if
are you
are going
talking
to
about
fail
the
it-
same?
Eh?
He's here now. He's the one that's you. He knew.
I think she's talking about Prissy, that Prissy came into the class.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
She came
talking
into the
about the
class,
Hausa.
everybody
No,
that
not
is
the
doing 8
teacher,
subjects.
not the teacher.
Oh, okay.
Not the teacher. If you are doing 8
Okay.
subjects and one of it is Hausa, she had to go and repeat SS2 after half a term in SS3.
Wow. That was tough.
Yes.
What
They
what
had to
I
carry
remember
their desk.
about that was that
Joy, you do well.
my
Shola Biola, so many of
guys
them were affected.
that were toppers that were taking us. In fact, then in fact, I wanted to run to Hausa. Not that I actually, but I understood Hausa. I was born in the north. I was born in Maiduguri, and I schooled a little in the north. So I was, we were getting 91, while we were struggling to have 50
Yeah, that was it.
In Yoruba.
In Yoruba.
Like,
We were passing
Me, I
outside
didn't
now,
even
like,
bother.
He was not teaching us Hausa. He was not. He just used to
Hausa was
sing
easy
songs. So
now.
once you sing a song, you will get marks.
Yeah, somehow.
then when it came to us, Prissy now forced all of you to go and write. I remember Onye Kakwe. That Prissy forced all of you to go and write the Hausa. To go
Yes,
and get
she sat down with us. She sat down with us in the exam hall to write the Hausa, and everybody failed.
I
Except
was
Daniel.
really struggling with
Where is
Yoruba
Onye
then.
Kakwe? Is she on the platform?
Who?
Onye Kakwe.
Onye Kakwe. It's been a while.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember Greenhouse, Abby.
Greenhouse.
Greenhouse. I used to have a
Remember there was a time she used to have POP. Somewhere. I don't know what happened to her. She had
Okay,
POP for a long time.
she had POP for a while. I think she broke her hand.
Okay, well, let's move on. We've got a few more minutes to go. Thank you very much. So, do EXCOs have the right to use their position to suspend or disqualify a candidate who falls out with their friends?
No, lie.
No,
That's
they don't.
injustice.
Where is this question coming from?
That is injustice.
What's their business with that one?
That is
That's injustice. There's no two ways about that. It's injustice. It's not right.
So,
it's not right.
No, it's not right at all.
Definitely
So
not right.
that incident that happened to that lady shouldn't have happened at all. But that is exactly what happened. They shouldn't have.
Tell me, why are you so quiet? Oh, for what level?
The president.
You said
position to do what she did. It was very wrong of her to have done that. She shouldn't have done that.
Okay, the issue about the lady that was disqualified.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, very wrong. Very wrong.
Shouldn't have done
very,
that.
Very wrong.
And then they should have called all of them to order.
Another thing I think is if you were you left school, they probably should consider at what point. Maybe for someone who came in one and left GS2.
It is well. Do I have to keep going out?
Maybe GS1 and left GS3. I think they should consider the number of years you spent in the school. And in our own case, it's different. I'm just talking about, in the Constitution, when you want to say someone leaves the school, you don't expect someone that started from GS1 to SS2 to, probably didn't finish with the school, and you expect that person not to, participate in whatever the school alumni is doing. I feel that's wrong. But probably if the person didn't spend so much time in the school, then they might be considered not such a member, or maybe not being able to contest in whatever position. That's my own opinion. But in her case, it was totally wrong. I felt it was just bad belly, Jerry.
So there was no one that could. So how do we? But then that means for that to have gone. I don't have the background story because it seems I'm kind of floating in there with all of this information coming through.
No, for her to have left the group, right?
I didn't hear that. No, I didn't hear all of these things. I didn't even know what was happening. Not now,
I heard recently too.
So I'm thinking, are there people who oversee the ESCOs? Are there, so that, because if an ESCO is doing what they're not supposed to do, is there nobody above them that can call them to order? Like
there is a board of trustees.
Yes.
There is a board of trustees who are the ones who how will I put it now? Started the association, so to speak, or registered.
The association.
Let me say registered the association.
Yeah, or those who have probably been executives before.
So what if that fagger what if she's a member of the board of trustees? Then what happens?
Or we trust for trustees. Exactly. So
then we'll
No, I
form
don't.
another.
Whoever okay, but you're not the only one in the board of trustees. All the members of the board of trustees can be part
well,
of that.
it doesn't matter. You know, of course, board of trustees they can't be so many. So if you can, you know, like rally those there and all that,
should just wangle her way. Exactly.
Politics is politics everywhere, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's politics, but all the same is wrong. Then in that case, I feel the followers should be able to, you know,
switch on the
speak
lamp
up.
for me.
Say something.
You
But
know,
I think
the
a lot of
speakers,
people got to find
the
out.
followers.
I think a lot of people got to find out very.
It can always be readdressed at any point in time if they want to. They can always call her back and apologize to her. You know,
exactly.
For me, that's the best way to go about it.
They amend the
get her back.
constitution because I think
Exactly, amend it and apologize. You know, if there was a wrong at some point, they bring her back and apologize that this will not happen again, so that, you know, others will not lay back and say they don't want to. You know, so she should be apologized to anyway because it's wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. For those who can't hear, please you can go out and come back in, then you will hear. Because it could be internet. So I can see someone here saying they can't hear. So please go out and come back in. So let's
I've
go
gone in and out.
the next.
I've gone in and out like 10 times.
I'm always going in and out. Once one person starts talking, I go out and come back in before I can hear the person.
Funny enough,
I'm telling you. Yes, I've gone in and out like 4 times now.
What's our next question, please?
She herself. She had gone in and out.
Okay, for me. So you were not here.
But I never talk finish.
For some reason, my
What's our next
never talk
question?
finish.
Now.
Yeah, the next one. Actually, I'll have to go back to.
Can we distribute
talk about that
fagin one? They talk now.
That's the one we're waiting for.
Did I what?
Yes.
I said distribute cookies so that we go the chop as we they talk.
Okay.
Now, pepper for more again, too. Are you ready?
Distribute them.
The final
pepper for more.
No wahala. Yeah. Abiola Adegoke.
Abiola, well, not so much.
I think she was a house captain.
She was greenhouse
captain and class captain for B for so long.
Greenhouse.
Wait,
Biola.
did I hear green?
Yes, Biola was green
captain. Yes.
Wait, there was another person with her stature that was popular house captain in our set. Who was that?
That was Ife, Abi. That was Ife, Abi.
She can't book it Jebutu or BJ, no?
Oh, Buki Jebutu was not our house captain.
No, popular house captain.
Who was popular house captain?
Was it not?
No, Yoruba Lenny, no. She has Viola's stature, kind of. I think she was in literally and debating.
Bimbo was
in Red House.
She was not your captain.
Oh, okay.
No, it wasn't Buki Jebutu.
Not confident.
What was her role?
Oh, I think
she was a prefect.
She was a prefect. Yeah.
She was school prefect. She wasn't a house prefect. No, she wasn't house prefect. She was a school prefect. Okay, deputy head girl. Yes, that's true. Yes.
Deputy head.
Yes.
You need to be talking. It consumes electricity.
So the boss was in F class, wasn't she?
Who? Yes, Bosse was F. Yes.
And
Bosse Ogunjimi was.
I can't remember this Bosse.
Oh, not
she had very small stature. Honestly, probably the smallest in our set.
No, she was not the smallest.
Who was it?
Rayo Bello was the smallest. Rayo Bello was the shortest.
Rayo Bello was taller than Bosse.
Somebody smaller than Taiwo Salako.
Brian Obere was the shortest, and I think I was next after her on the assembly. Mo ga jù Ráyọ̀ lọ náà, kí ló ń ṣe yín?
Lóòótọ́, ṣé parẹ́ tó ga jù?
The smallest ones were.
Lẹ́yìn náà, bóyá
tó kẹ́ kí ló sì mí? You said they talk.
Kò ń ṣe fọ́ọ̀kì gbogbo yín.
Yínká Jẹ́gẹ́dẹ́.
Ọtọ máa ń dúró síwájú
Wọ́n
flower.
máa jẹ́ kó rí máa fọ́ mi sí pẹ̀lú bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ popular captain yẹn báyìí tí brain mi ò ní fi mi ọlọ́run. She won't respect for all the
Ronke is saying something very important.
Okay, Ronke, we can't hear you now.
They choose the short ones to go and give flowers to them. And that was them Taiwo, them Yemi.
Kí ló sọ?
When we have prize giving day or we have executives come to the school, they always chose the short ones to go and give the executives.
Me, I was never part of them.
It used to be Boye, Yemi, what's her name? Jumoke.
Yemi Makonjola.
I was never one of them. I was average.
Was it Yemi Makonjola?
Oh, Yemi.
Check category of short people then discuss by
Popularity.
Kemi Mafo.
Sure.
No, Kemi Mafo was tall now.
Sharon Tigbemi Abimbola, Red House.
Jabim.
Nini.
No, not Jabim. Gbemi Abimbola was 91 set. Orí kéńkélé báyìí, ó mọ̀wé burúkú báyìí.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni mo rántí.
Red House, ó mọ ìwé bàjẹ́, orí jẹ́ńjẹ́lé báyìí.
Mi mọ̀.
Kò rántí Gbemi Abimbola.
She was in Red House.
She was in Red House.
Mi rántí.
Burúkú.
I remember her face.
She was like Tayo Imola, ó mọ̀wé bàjẹ́.
Very big.
Taiwo, ó dẹ̀ wá yá mi díẹ̀ ní brain yẹn. Bóró mi sí ọ̀dà.
Ṣé torí ẹ̀ ló ṣe fọwọ́ lẹ́rọ̀?
Orin tí mò ń wò yìí báyìí. Kẹ́ tó sọ mí nù finally.
Mo rí senior kan báyìí ní last week. Lórí train, she was 89 set. I went for election. She was not laughing. She now said, Dike, election yẹn. Gbọ́gà o, òun mọ̀ pé election ni alumni wa lè gbóná tó pọ̀ tó yìí.
Ó lè gbóná tó báyìí.
We now spoke about
that person talk.
Let's
sorry, based on you won't believe me kúkú bá yín mọ̀ because 88 man ni mo join. I joined 88.
Yes.
But I didn't have the opportunity of when I joined in 88 in JS2, I wasn't a but
88, but 89 ló ṣẹlẹ̀ now.
No, money day student.
In
reference to this, I want to say that they cannot stop anybody from voting. However, bí ẹni yẹn bó ṣe máa bá rẹ̀ bí ẹni yẹn ṣe máa bá rẹ̀ òun náà ló ṣe bá rẹ̀ ní election in the sense that you will get to know the people that you have hurt. The fact for you to know you have hurt, there's also a level that you should make amendment. So Taiwo, please, if they reach out to you or whoever is involved, please, I want to beg you, forgive and let go.
No. Now, I don't have anything against her.
Everyone will have.
I do not get it right, though. I don't have anything against her.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Let me tell you. Even the things that you said, let me finish my own statement. The things that you said helped me as a person to choose my own candidate. Sure, you understand? However, I realize that if we don't address this issue, because if you are saying that level of fagging, I talked about my own school model. The last meeting that we had. my school mother when I was in Port Harcourt made me kneel down for over 6 or 8 hours. That was on my knees that I couldn't walk at the
School
end of
mother.
that. Nítorí pé mi gbé oúnjẹ, ní tí mo ṣe nìyẹn, mi ò gbé oúnjẹ wá láti dá ẹ hàn.
Mother. Ṣé wọ́n yàn fún ẹ àbí ìwọ ló yàn fúnra rẹ̀?
Oh yeah, can't be you.
The only person that this lady did that evil to, I don't know whether she did evil to any other person. Now I have this against her, you understand? And she's contesting. Ṣé mọ̀ pé just that singular act, how will you be?
Yeah.
How will I, as the election committee, be able to take her away from the whatever, from the from being a candidate? No, from her. But let them come and let people show them that this is who you are, and if they have the opportunity to change their ways or to apologize, kì í ṣe gbogbo wa náà láti ṣe dáadáa ní past, but if they have the opportunity to realize themselves that I've been a bad person, make amends. We move forward from there, but not that they should stop them from contesting. I support that. So that's just my point.
Correct. Well, thank you. So Taiwo, I think. Sorry.
Everybody should stop saying, "I'm not malicious." But that term, I don't like it. I'm not malicious.
Oh, sorry,
I said what he did.
Sorry.
The fact that you guys didn't remember, I remember so vividly well. Like it's like a picture right in front of me. Well, maybe that's my own cross, like Bumi once said, for having that kind of memory that I have. But I'm not gonna be quiet. It was from SS1 downwards.
I know you did.
It was about 4 now.
Yeah, you did confirmed it too during our.
But she did it to. We are talking of about more than 50 people. For the Boasita from SS1 downwards.
I get your point, and that is why it helped me to pick. I was able to with that singular act. It helped me to pick. However, going forward for your own what should I say, mental health.
No, affect me mentally in any way. Affect me
mentally. The problem.
No problem. Because
yes,
that is a lesson to her. You can't change that way. That is a lesson to her. It has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
It's on her. I'm not gonna be quiet when something like $1. I won't be quiet. I will not be quiet. That's not me. I will not say, but come when come meet me. But that journey lo. Moves here, rara. I will still speak my mind. It's up to people to vote. And a lot of people came behind the scenes. In fact, if you know how many people talk about me, even 91 set.
Taiwo, mo feel pé opportunity ní phone náà láti rí rẹ̀ láti change. Rárá.
I don't agree with you on that.
She called me.
Everybody is entitled to use their own opinion.
Yes, she called me, and I did utter a word.
Wait.
I did utter a word. Moko dákẹ́ lórí phone ni. Because number 1, mi ò mọ bí tó wà. Number 2, mi ò mọ̀ tó wà pẹ̀lú.
Sorry,
so maybe it would have been a better medium of communication. But at that point, but the fact remains that was who she was. All true. And was my friend. Oh, unfortunately, she's not active on the platform. So she was not a nice person. And that's what I have in my head.
Yeah. Sorry, Ronke. Yeah. I think it's fine that we're airing this because we need to see other views.
I think in my view, you might not agree with this, but people don't change. So if somebody was that wicked back then, I really believe they should not be given the opportunity to lead. Because imagine looking at it from the perspective of Taiwan and other people, having somebody that, and it's not about holding a grudge, it's about feeling a hurt that somebody, I give an example now. You have had your opportunity, you've done something that should prevent you from having such an office. It doesn't matter whether it's a student's office, government office. If you have been a fagger, as we keep saying, really you should not be allowed to now lead the people you fag. I think that is just taking it too far. And yes, yes. But there's something about being wicked to somebody personally for no just cause. And that's what fagging is.
Hey, I still maintain that if she has I agree, but I don't support you that she should not be given the opportunity.
She not be given the opportunity. She should not even ask for the opportunity. It's arrogance of her. It's arrogant of her to ask for the. If she has really changed, it is arrogant of her to ask for the opportunity.
Well, Ronke, that's the word. Very arrogant.
I don't agree with that.
It's arrogant to ask for the opportunity.
Okay, wait. So Kemi is saying something. Go on, Kemi.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I feel it's bad then. She was bad to some of us, most of us, or well, I can't remember if she was bad to me. Maybe she was, maybe she wasn't. I probably have forgotten. Yes, so I probably will not hold anything against her, you know. But of course, you hear stories of her being bad. You know, let me start with, it's good to be good, you know, anytime. So, but this was years back. I feel it doesn't, depending on her character over time, as in, you know, as at the point she was with the ESCOs or with the group or whatever, you know, her character over time, for her to be able to, for her to be given the opportunity to even vie for the position, at least she must have done one or two things, you know, and she's not the only one. She's not unopposed. You have other people, you know. So, and I think at some point, you have people who will, for people who remember what she did and hold it against her, fine, I support that also. For those who probably like her and feel she didn't do anything to them, they can vote for her. But I feel the bottom line is, whoever is the best candidate will still win, which was what has happened. You understand? I don't have anything against her being given the position, like Bosse said, the opportunity to, you know, if she did, if we're talking about Nigerian politics, then we wouldn't even be saying anything. Because how many of them can you know, stand in for and say, okay, they were good back then, or they were good years back, or they were good to us? We all knew how the same Buhari was like years back, and we still voted for him. I didn't anyway, but you know, so these are things that just happen. For me, my own
area. It depends in what area.
And I also believe the fact that I don't agree with Ronke when she said people cannot change. It depends on what level of change. I believe people can change. Maybe not 100%. You might still see the traces of, you know, yeah, but yes, people do change. You have people who were terrible before, and somehow, you know, when you might show traces, not
excuse me,
but generally,
that faggot, I didn't.
Madam, let me finish talking. Madam, let me finish talking before you.
That faggot.
We have 9 more minutes. 9 more minutes to go.
Ogami, hold on. People do change. That's just my belief. Yes. I believe in people do change.
Thank you.
People do change.
Okay.
But I have a question.
Can I say something?
Bola has a question, then Avotu will talk after Bola.
What if in this election, what if she was the only one vying for that presidential position? What would have happened?
We want a president. No, it's not compulsory.
Hold on, please. Hold on.
Wait.
Yes, there's a position of abstain. You abstain. And get any votes. You know, so it's as simple as that. I'm not supporting that she should be president or whatever, but if she was voted for, then fine. If not, but she shouldn't give me the opportunity. I don't believe that.
Okay, Avotu, you wanted to say something very quickly, and then I think Tawel is raising her hand as well. Go on, Ty.
I totally
understand. Not soon.
I totally understand. I totally understand where Taiwo is coming from. Do you understand? And I don't blame her for whatever.
Yeah, I don't
action
either.
she did. For my own case, no, I'm telling you, for my own case now, if I will spoil her name, there's no magic.
Yeah,
that's your personal opinion, which is good, which is fine by you.
So I understand where Taiwo is from, and I know her.
But not generalizing.
My Akure days. So if she had done anything in the past, that memory will not come to my mind.
Yeah,
what comes to my mind is what she has done to me in the past. So that's it. Except I have a one-on-one with her, or I meet somebody who has a one-on-one with her, and I see that she has changed, and I can change my mindset.
Oh, so you have some of us
part of you can change. You can. Taiwo,
what do you think of okay?
Taiwo, Jebure.
What? Did I undo the past? Stop telling me to let go. I don't have anything personal against her. I didn't get it.
I know.
I don't have anything against her. But in terms of contest for a public office where I'm going to be under her, I will lie, mama protest Dolani. I don't have anything personal against her. I cannot do the past.
Okay, let me say something. Thank you for all your views. I think it makes sense because people hearing this video afterwards will know that before you contact, there's a Yoruba proverb that says, how did they say it? Say àṣepamọ́ ló wà
àṣegbé kan ò sí àṣepamọ́ ló wà.
Thank you.
Àṣegbé ò sí.
People need to start realizing it. We're talking now. We're all talking to youths, to children. Whatever you do now will definitely there will be consequences. There's always consequences for everything we do. Other people are forgotten. Like I tell youth, well, see, the internet, no, they forgive.
Exactly.
Internet, at all. If you've done something wrong,
and they know they forget.
In the server for years and years and years to come, and you
start to know they forget.
Internet.
That's the difference between
our 92 social media.
Incidentally, Taiwo, before you came up, I was saying that Taiwo was not this vocal in school. We were friends. So you have changed. You became very vocal. You became like an.
Oh, you don't get so really.
Chatterbox, so láti kékeré. Tó bá sọ nǹkan tó fẹ́ lójú dáàdì mi ọmọ àwẹ̀ pé.
Rárá o, ṣó mo pa àjọjọ́ rẹ̀, àwa mẹ́ta àbí mẹ́rin là ń mú fún gbà èmi ìwọ Bukky dẹjọ́.
But tó bá wá jà mí, I'm still like that. Tó bá wá jà mí, I just go my way. But if there's something okay, mo ma challenge o.
You were that kind of.
I will always challenge the status quo at any time.
Loud. You are not really loud in school.
Àkúrẹ́ ò gbà wá láyé wọn enable ẹ̀ ní wọn kọ́ wá fàbí ayé wọn.
Wọ́n tẹ enable bọ́tì yẹn àbí?
Enable bọ́tì.
What did I miss?
What did you miss? Now there are consequences for everything.
What did I miss?
In my opinion, we have 4 more minutes.
In
my opinion,
I think get ready. In 2 years' time, you are going to be our next alumni president. So be ready.
Yay!
I'm going to put your name up. I'm going to put your name up.
I don't like responsibilities. I only like to support.
You will do it. You will do it.
No. I only like to do support. I only support. I don't.
No, you will be there.
I know. Tó bá jẹ́ èèyàn tó dáa, màá sọ gbogbo nǹkan ni màá fi support yẹ.
How many years?
I want to say something. I want to say something. I think one of the lessons learned. Now we are on lessons learned from all of this.
Yeah.
I don't want to say saga, all of this. Lesson learned, I believe, is for anyone to want to forget about the past and contest, if they have the boldness to contest, they should have that boldness to come out to apologize about whatever they have done in the past publicly. If they can do that, then we know, yes, this person is serious about what they want to go into. They want to be.
Yeah, that's a good.
Yes. Exactly.
But
I'm
I would
sorry, no,
agree that
because they're
they should
apologizing
be.
because they want a position. If
But
they
I think
really
that's
were
the
That's
first
sorry, they
step.
another
would do
thing.
it before
That's the first
before
step.
they go for a position. I'm
That's the
sorry.
first step that you can
Is the
hold that
first step.
person to, that you said
Mm.
you have changed and this is what you apologize to everyone. Even if it's just to apologize and then resign. You know, in this
What
country,
if
it's
she
more about
realized that òun ti hurt àwọn èèyàn and she wants to
Then,
make her wrong right?
then she makes amends in a different way, not trying to now be
In a
the
different
Like
way.
leader
we
of those same people you suffered. You don't do that. That's arrogant. You don't.
So how do you want her to do it? Which other way?
She can support
Can she
somebody
reach out?
else. She can
no,
support
but without
financially.
apologizing,
She
you
No,
can
can't
you wouldn't
support.
support
know.
behind the
You
scenes.
can't
Everyone
support
wouldn't
them on the
know.
same
I
level.
believe
You
if it's
don't
given
do
that
that. So
opportunity.
exactly. So if she wants people to
No.
know,
If you don't know, then you will never support her
if she
now.
wants people to know that she's doing something, it means she still hasn't changed. She's doing it because she wants acknowledgement, not because she really wants to help.
No, but if she ends up supporting someone, we will be the ones to say no. This person was a fagger. For her to be supporting another person, that
No,
person
no,
must be
no.
a
She
fagger.
can
Mm.
support somebody behind the scenes. She can use her energy or
She
anything
can
to
support
support
somebody
somebody
behind the
else.
scene.
how will you
Exactly.
now know that
But how
I'm
will you?
forgiver?
People will say
Eh?
no. For her to support this person, that person too must be in a birds of the same feather flock
No, 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 no,
together.
no, no. If she
Flock
wants people
together.
to forgive her, she will
Yeah.
come out and say forgive me without going for a position.
And that's what I'm saying now. That if she actually means it, she could come out and say, "Okay, this is what I've heard about me. I'm so
I'm
sorry for
sorry.
all the trauma I've
Exactly.
caused you guys. This is that. I was young then. Now I'm grown, or whatever she has to say.
Exactly.
And because of that, I stepped down. That would have been so
Exactly.
honorable.
No,
Exactly.
she doesn't have to step down.
Very
Because of that,
honorable.
I will not go for the post.
Very honorable.
But
That's
that step I
honorable.
believe would have been a good way to make
Yeah.
amends because there are some people who are still suffering the pain. They are still remembering the pain where they were on the kneeling down outside in the courtyard. Didn't mean to say courtyard, yeah, she didn't sing about. But anyway, so
I will
yeah,
send you a picture. I will send you a picture.
okay, send me. That should be our next picture of the day. So thank you very much, ladies. Who has any last words before we call it a wrap? Last words.
Love you
Anyone?
guys.
Thank
Love
you.
you
Let's
guys.
keep it
Thank
rolling.
you.
Yes, it's wonderful doing this with you.
Okay,
Going down
bye
memory lane.
everyone.
Yes,
Wonderful.
thank you for coming. Thank you for your time. It's always good fun being with
Bye.
you all. Bye. Bye, viewers. Remember to like, to share. Bye.